or complete television, radio, cable industry, the Directory 2008, um, FCC Regulatory Authority, access broadcast material to people with a disability, communication act with commission rules required for the television station, license of the broadcaster, and the information with the make of viewing with the more accessible to people with a disability. Closed caption technology designed to provide access to the television program to the person hearing disability, displaying with the text over the audio portion of the broadcast as well as the description, background noise, the sound of the closed caption, and hit with the encode of the tab of the transmit of the television signal. Viewers wishing to see with the caption with must view with the set top of the decoder of the television built in the decoder circuitry with all of the television sub with the screen with the 13-inch for the largest manufacturer since mid-1993, include the digital set have with built-in decoder circuitry. Does it have decoder? What is the if it has a is there sound card decoder circuitry? As director of the Congressional Telecommunication 1996 FCC adopted the rules requiring closed caption of the most of the not all of the television program required with the distributed television program directly home viewers, including broadcast stations comply with these rules. The rules also provide with a certain exemption for the caption requirements. Additional information closed caption requirements may be found on the FCC website, FCC General Closed Caption Video Program Television. Access to emergency information. FCC author require the television station to make with local emergency information or to provide with the viewer except for the person with a disability. The emergency information will provide aerial. Such information also must provide with visual format with a person with a deaf, with a hard of hearing. The emergency information may be closed caption with a presented through the alternate method of visual presentation. Such method include open caption with the curl of the scrolls over the appear with the screen. Information provided visual must include critical detail regarding the emergency, how to respond to the critical detail will include among the things with other things with the special information regarding the area with affected with emergency evacuation order detail with the description of the area of the evacuated specific evacuation routes to prove the shelf with the way to take shelf in one home, the instruction in home, the secure of the personal property, road closures, how to obtain relief assistance similar to the emergency information with the presented visual that must be with the access of the emergency information interrupts programming such as through crawl. Such information must be accompanied with an aerial tone to alert person with visual disability with the station with providing information to such person that may be alerted to the term and other sources such as the radio for more information. Additional information concerning the requirement from the FCC with the Gov the Consumer Guideline Accessible Emergency Information Television. Alright, business practice, the advertising, business practice, advertising, raise and profit, except for the requirement of the commercial concern with the political advertisement, the discover the page for the 20 with the span with a limit of the number of the commercial that can be aired during children programming, see page 22. Prohibition advertising over the non-commercial educational stations, see page 24. Commission does not regulate licensed business practice with the advertising over the L words profits over the rate chart with the broadcast time of the man for the private network negotiated with between sponsor station for their expect with a certain class for the political advertising. See if they join the station license to have the full disagreement except for the rejection of advertising. Equal employment discrimination, equal opportunity. The FCC requires that all the licensed radio, television stations that fall with the equal opportunity employment, prohibited employment discrimination based race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. However, the religious stations that are permitted to recover some of all of the employees must meet a religious qualification. Equal opportunity recruitment rules of the three prongs that require that all the stations employ with 5 or more full-time employment defined through regularly working 30-hour week or more. Allow the distributed information concerning each of the full-time job with a vacancy except for the vacant with the need with the file with the under the manual and other special circumstances seen as opening organization community that involve the employment of the organization requests such as the notice for the engagement of the current general outreach activity each 2 years for the job fair for the internship of the community events. Each license with 5 or more full-time employees must maintain the records recruitment efforts created by the police with public file with the annual public file with the reporting listing specify the information about the recruitment efforts with the recruitment equal opportunity portion of the public file discussed on page 27 of the manual. The annual equal opportunity public file must be approved of the station website if one exhibits the addition of the television license of the 5 or more full-time employees with radio license with 11 or more full-time employees must file the file FCC Form 39 of the broadcast midterm of the report. Each license, regardless of size, with the must travel the FCPD Form 396 with the Equal Opportunity Program report with the license renewal application. Each license, regardless of size, must follow the FC Form 396 of the Equal Opportunity Program report with the license renewal application from with the prospective date for the license must follow the FCC Form 396A with the broadcast model with the program report, new station time of the transfer application, FCC review, equal opportunity compliance for the time of the control of the date for the renewal application for the review of the broadcast, midterm of the reports, with the receipt of the equal opportunity complaint with the during the random station audit for the full range of the enforcement activity, action with available the equal opportunity violation, code with the imposition reporting foundation of the fund for forfeiture, short-term license renewal, license for revocation. All equal opportunity forms electronically filed with available to public review. The CDBS, or the FCC access of the database, access to the report of the licensing as FCC of the prod CDBS, pub ACC production EEO search HTML. The discuss page for the page 26 of the manual edition and a copy of all the FCC equal opportunity audit letters license responsible by the FCC rule included the auditor station public file are available to public review. FCC Public Reference Center of the Washington, D.C. Additional information concerning equal opportunity rules available at HEPS for FCC General Equal Opportunity. Equal opportunity. Sponsor identification from the name of the communication with the commission with the rule of the generally required with the money with the consideration or airing with the program material that have the receive the problem with the station input with the other station broadcast with the full disclosure with the fact of the time of the airing with the material with the identify with the provide the consideration from the ground with the principle of members of the public should know who of the trying to persuade them and then program and the being aired the scope of the agreement develop with the broadcast with the musical selection consideration so-called payola, airing with certain video news releases, and in the case of the advertising of the commercial product service division of the station with the amounts announced sponsors, corporate and trade new with the sponsor product, whatever the clear with the mention of the product counts with the sponsor of the identification with additional information, and sponsor of the identification payola. See FCC Consumer Guidelines, FCC payola rules, underwriting and announcement, non-commercial educational stations, non-commercial educational station may acknowledge the contribution over the air, but it may not broadcast commercial otherwise promote the good service to the profit donors or underwriters acceptable enhanced underwriting acknowledgement for the profit donors. Underwriters may include one logo programs, slogans that identify with it but do not promote the location and information. 3 value neutral description of the product line the services for the brand name, trade name, the broadcaster for the listing. However, the acknowledgments interpret the station of the regular program with additional information. Underwriting rules FCC covenant enforcement order of the 1831. Loud commercials. FCC does not regulate the volume of the broadcasting program and including the commercial survey of the technical studies, review of the perceived loudness of the particular broadcast, manner of the subject of the judgment with the vary of each of the viewer, listener, and fluent with the meaning and fact of the stuff of the material, the content of the say, the sound of the voice, the tone of the person with the speaking, with the FCC found with no evidence, say, ability raising audio with the modulation level to end of the commercial messages, mainly controlling the set of the volume level that you may remote control the concept of the simplest approach to reducing the volume level of the with excessive, many with the television receiver equipped to circle with the design with the stable out with the loudness between the program and the commercial. These functions usually must be activated with the receiver to set up audio of the menu with these techniques to fail to resolve the problem with addressing the complaint with about the broadcast volume and the level of the license of the station involved with additional information in the loud commercial can be found at www.fcc.gov guidelines program background noise and loud commercials. False, misleading advertising. The Federal Trade Commission, the primary responsible for determining whether the advertisement is full of the objective of the take with the action against the smell of the food, drug, administrative of the commercial, primary responsible for safety of food with the drug product, but depending on the need of the advertisement, issue the concept of the agent of the advertisement, you believe it may fall with misleading additional information for the false, misleading advertisement can be found with the AFCC with the Gov, the consumer the guideline complaint with the broadcasting advertisement, offense for the advertising and left of the broadcast that advertise with the found with violations of the law of the rule of the government can have with the take action against it, however, believe the advertisement offensive because of the nature of the item. Advertise with the educational announcement that name with a message with the president with the trip to consider the addressing the complaint with the directly the station on the network involved with providing date and time of the broadcasting product. The advertiser in question of those will help involve with the selection of the advertising material with becoming better informed about the audience opinion. Tobacco, alcohol, and advertising. Federal law prohibits airing with advertising cigarette little, cigarette smokeless, tobacco, with chewing tobacco on the radio, television, any other medium of electronic communication under the FCC jurisdiction. However, the advertising smoking, especially cigarette pipes, pipe tobacco, cigarette making machines, and not prohibited cigarette was not enacted with the law prohibiting and broadcasting advertising any kind of alcohol beverage. FCC does not have a rule or policy regulating such advertisement. Subliminal program. The commission sometimes received complaints regarding the alleged of subliminal perception technique of broadcasting programs. Subliminal programming is designed to perceive at the conscious level only. Regardless of whether the effect of the broadcast subliminal material, the inconsistency obligation to show the public interest because it is designed to be deceptive. Blanket interface rules. Some members of the public situated close to the radio station transmission antenna may experience the impaired reception of the other stations, including the blanketing interference. Commission rules impose a certain obligation of license to resolve such interference. Complain with complaints about such interference involved in radio station handled with the Media Bureau's audio division. The blanketing interface less common in occurring with the television station of the radio station due to the location of the height of the TV transmission antennas. If the phenomenon does occur with the television station of the Media Bureau video division, handle the complaint with a case-to-case basis for the subject of the radio complaints known as below. In the outset of the policy designed to provide protection with the interfering with the individual certain distance from the sign in the area with the station with the blanket contour. Only involved in electronic devices pick up the over-air signal from the broadcasting radio or television stations that are not recorded the result of the interference complaint with involved in the following. Complaint from the party located outside of the station blanketing contour 115 decibel U contouring FM station 1 V/M contour of the AM station, improperly installed the antenna system, used the high gain antenna with the interior booster amplifiers. Mobile receiver included with not limited to car radios, portable stereo with the cellular phones, non-radio frequency devices included with not limited to tape recorders, CD players, MP3 players, landline, television, cell phones, and cordless telephones. For the complaints of the party located station blanketing contour with involved with a non-mobile television radio receiver, the station must resolve the interference complaint with the non-call for the complaining party. If the party notified the station the problem during the first year of the station operated with a new and modified facility with similar complaints for the receiver the first year with the such for the operation has passed, will the station not financially responsible for resolving the complaint, it must provide the efficient and the technical assistance complaining party. These efforts must include the provision of information assistance sufficiently specific to enable the complaining party to eliminate blanketing interference and not simply with the attempt of the station to correct the problems. Such assistance entails providing specific detail about the proper corrective of the measure for the result of the blanketing interference. For example, the station should provide the complaining party with a diagram description and explain how and where of the use of the radio frequency choke with the fertile, the core of the filter, of the air shell, shell of the cable, additional effect of the technical assistance include the recommended placement of equipment that would work better with the high radio frequency fields. Effective technical assistance does not mean with referring with a complaint with the equipment manufacturer. However, the result of blanketing interference problem believe that you receive the blanketing any other type of interference with the broadcast reception curve the first communicated directly writing with the license and station with the believe causing interference with the license does not satisfactorily resolve the problem. You may fax email complaint you the following for the radio station Federal Communication Commission, the Audio Division Media Bureau, 445 12th Street, Southwest Washington, D.C. 205454. Fax number 202-418-1411. And email address the radio info at fcc.gov. For TV station Federal Communication Commission Video Transmission Bureau Media Bureau, 445 12th Street, South Washington, D.C. 20554. Fax number 202-418-2827. And email address tvinfo at fcc.gov. Your complaint shall include your name and address, phone number, the call letter of each station involved, each location with which the interference occurred, that each specific device receiving the interference. The more specific complaint is easier for us and any station involved to identify with the resolve of the interference problem. Other interface issues. In many cases, the receiver that interference with the television set with the radio, the source of the problem could be with the equipment which may be accurately designed with the circuit infiltrating and reject the unwanted signal that your body transmits with the remove the contact with the equipment manufacturers store with the equipment with the purchase to attempt to resolve the interference problem. We confirm with the Information Broadcasting Interference Commission website, FCC Consumer Guide, the interference with radio television signals, local public inspection file, requirement of the maintained public inspection file. The rules require the license permit with the TV the radio station for the applicant of the new broadcast station maintain the file with available to public inspection. The file must contain the documents relevant to the station operation and the links with the common community of and the FCC with the public inspection file generally maintained with the station my studio with obtaining the location of the phone number of the station main studio, the control of the local telephone directory, call the station business officer, but may also be able to find the information station internet website if one exists. Purpose of the file because we would do routinely monitor this each of the station program operation viewer listeners or an importance over the information about the nature of the area of the station programming operation along with the FCC obligation of the document to contain that each of the station public inspection for all have the information about the station can assist the public with the important monitoring role. The stuff manual every station that have the obligation to provide the news to the public affair of the other program and successfully retrieve the important issue facing the community comply with the communication act with the commission rules and with the terms of the state license. We encourage the continued dialogue with the team broadcast with the members of the public to ensure that the stations that meet their obligations and remain so if the needs of local community because of the launch of the list of the station whether we license can valuably affect the advocate to ensure the area station comply with the localism obligation of the other FCC requirements viewing public inspection for all each of the broadcast line with a license permit application must to make station public inspection for all available to members of the public anytime with the with a regular business or with although they do not make the appointment to with a view with the file making with one of the helpful both the station and you. A station chose to maintain all part of the public file of the computer database must provide the computer terminal if the wish of the review this file. At the date of determine the television station also recover the post to post most of the content of the public files on the internet website if they have them on their state broadcaster association website permitted with the radio station have not yet been recovered the post of their file on the website must also do with the wish if you want to review the station public file over the internet you should check with the website contact with the station to determine where the file is posted. You may request materials in the file which states stations must provide a reasonable charge of the visiting station with in person with additional and to have the as of the video rolls their secessions and audio with each new play. You must request copies of the material of the file of the station provided with a reasonable charge of the visiting station and the personal edition of the station public locally outside of the community license. Live station conservative that in your request does not involve the station's political file. You may request copies of the material of the file over the telephone facility request. You request stations to provide a copy of the current version of the manual of this manual free of charge. To facilitate telephone requests, we require stations to provide a copy of the current version of the manual free of charge. If you so request, this manual can help identify with the other documents you may ask for them to be mailed to you. The station should assist callers and in their process to answer questions that may have the actual content of the public file. Information may include example with the number of the pages appear with the coverage of the practical ownership of the television program. You can report with all types of application that actually maintain the station public file, the dates of the which they are filed with the FCC. Finally, if you ask of the broadcasting of the station for photocopies of the material of the public inspection file, the station may request to pay for those photocopies. Therefore, the station may require the guarantee of the payment in advance, such as the deposit of the credit card. The station must pay postage, and the copies requested by telephone stations must fulfill requests for the copy reasonable for the period of time that generally should not exceed 7 calendar days after the request is made. For additional information on the public requirement of transition, FCC code the broad MPIF the HTML. Content of the file. The following material will contain the each of the state of the public inspection file. The licensed station must keep a copy of the current FCC construction permit license public file. So, the licensed station must keep the copy of the FCC construction permit license public file together with any material of the documenting commission approve of the modifications of the authorization license and permit reflect the station authorized technical parameters such frequency call letter for the operating power of the transmitter location as well as any special condition info of the FCC station operation indicate with which is issued when it will expire. Application related to material. The public file will contain the copies of the application file with the station file over the commission when it's still pending before the FCC in the court. It's included application to sell the station with modify its facility example to increase the power change of the antenna station system, change the transmitter location, potential to deny any of the application file with the file must contain the statement of effect with the name of the draft positioning party. Application must be maintained with the file FCC action on them, and action can no longer be appealed or reversed. Station must also keep copy of the granted constitution permit assignment with the transfer application granted required of the waiver or rule. The application will require the waiver that any related material reflect each particular rule that we waive. It must maintain it as long as the waiver remains in effect. Also, FCC renewed station license less than full terms, but the station must keep the renewal application FCC Form 303 as for the file until the grant of the renewal application. FCC action on the grant such as the short renewal when we are concerned about the station performance but the previous term of the control will reflect with renewal related material of the public file. Sorry, we moved up. Citizen agreement. Commercial stations must keep copies of any written agreement that makes the local viewers, the listeners, the citizen agreement to deal with the program and employment and other issues concerning committee concerning the station. They must keep the agreement for the public files along with the air in effect. Contour map for the public file will contain copies of any stations over the contour maps or other information submitted to the application for the FCC reflect the stations over the contour of the main studio of the transmitter location. Commission the application form will require the submission of the contour map for the other station with the does not serve the signal coverage of their city of the license document stay with the file with the line with the remain current with the accurate regarding station. Material relating to the FCC investigation complaint station with must keep the material relating to any of the material subject to the end of the FCC investigation with the equal opportunity audit. When the station has violated Commission Communications Act of the FCC rules, the station must keep the material on file with the FCC notified with the material that may be discarded except for the FCC with involved disputes regarding the material unrelated with the Communication Act of the FCC rule of the private contract or the dispute with the station do not have to retain material relating to such a dispute of the public file. Ownership and reports related to material of the public file must contain the copy of the most recently completed ownership report for FCC Form 323 commercial station FCC Form 323 even non-commercial educational stations file the change in its station among other things of the report that covers the name of the owners for the station license of the owner interest of the list any of the contract related to the station required to be filed with the FCC the identified interest any interest other than broadcasting station held by the station licensing or its owners. Those of the contracts required to be filed with the FCC station must keep the public either with a copy of all the contracts that they have to file with the FCC and a list of identifying all such contracts. If the station keeps a list of a member of the public as to see the copy of the actual contract, station must provide with a copy to a requester within 7 calendar days. Contracts required to maintain a list of the public inspection file include contracts relating to networks or the network affiliation contracts. Contracts relating to ownership and control of the license permitted with the ordinance or track. Examples include article of the incorporation by law with agreement to provide with the assignment of the license permit affecting the stock ownership of the voting right, stop option, pledge of the proxy with the mortgage loan agreement over the restrict the license of permanent freedom of operation, and management control of the agreement to independent contract with the contract relating to the utilization management of the capacity of any of the person of the officer of the director of the regular employee with the license. Political file. Stations must keep the file containing the complete record of the referred of the broadcast time that A is made on the behalf of a legal qualified candidate of the public office, B with the community communicates the message relating to any political matter, material of national importance, include legal qualified candidate, an election, federal office, national legislative, issue public importance. If it must be identified with how the station respond with the stuff of the request for the granted charges may be scheduled for the time purchase for the time and the spots for the actually air with the rates charged for the class for the time purchase of the file also may reflect any of the free time provided by the handler of the station must keep the political records in file for 2 years after the spot air. You can find more information regarding the political broadcasting list on pages 20 of this manual. Alright, equal opportunity material that were noted earlier, licensing submitting certainly contain certain forms containing equal opportunity include copies of the station public file with all these stations employment with a 5 or more file. Full-time employee with must be equal opportunity public file or within this station public file each year with which officer require each radio and TV station license to file with a 396 equal opportunity program report with the license. Renewal application include the report to the public of the license with the file form 397 of the broadcast midterm report must include the copy of the public file. Material must be retained with the file until the final action on the station of the new license the renewal application for the new station application for the prospective station buyer intends to employ 5 or more full-time employees unless file with the 396A broadcasting equal opportunity model program report with the new station assignment of the transfer application of the report that include the public file as part of the underlying application to retain the file until the grant of the underlying application becomes final. You can file with more information regarding equal opportunity rules page 24 of this manual. Alright, public and broadcasting stations must keep the current version of the manual of the public file provided for the copy of the upon request member of the public would know that above the council request the copy of the FCC access to the internet website of the FCC Committee with radio public and broadcasting. There's an email from the public commercial stations must keep it in their file the last 3 years written comments with the suggestion of the email for the first of the public regarding their operation. Non-commercial educational stations not subject to the requirement of the application limited to the comments with suggestion email sent with the station management public case. Station and draft letters do not place in the public inspection file. The authority would have requested letters not to be made public when the license field of the issue be excluded with the public inspection because of the nature of the content such as the defamatory obscene letters. Hate mail. Moreover, although television stations post public file of material of the website must include emails received from the public, and they need not post letters from the public as long as they include hard copies such as letters in their public file. Notice of the website of the letters can be located as the file with notice both all of the part of the station public file with maintained in the computer database, and the computer terminal with made available as the location of the file with the file. The members of the public who wish to review the file according to alternatively maintain hard copies of the email when the public file station in the place of the email with the computer databases along with the terminal is made available to the location of the public file with the members of the public who will review this file. Quarterly programming reports. Every 3 months, every broadcast radio and television station license prepared with the place of the station of the program containing the most significant treatment that coming to issue during the preceding 3 months issue program list. The list must briefly describe both issue programming during the issue with which to discover the including date with the time of each of the program was aired with the title of the duration. License must keep the list of the full file of the next grant of the station renewal application will become the file of the television stations or the file of the standardization television disclosure form and include instead of these a list of once of the forms approved and made available. This form, which was also filed quarterly with the commercial and non-commercial educational television broadcast, will provide a detailed information that after the station provide programming response to the issue with facing their communities in standardized format. Children's Television Program Reports discuss the page 22 of the Manual of the Children's Television Act of 1990 or rule that require that each of the TV stations distribute the educational information needed within the needs of the child with the means of the overall programming. For the programming that is specifically designed to serve such need with the commercial TV station must make with pertaining within their file of the Children's Television Programming Reports for FCC Form 398, identifying educational information programming with the children aired by station and the non-commercial educational station now required to prepare these reports. The reports include the name of the person on the station responsible for collecting the comments for the station and complying with the children television and the station have to prepare for these reports for each calendar quarter of the month play for the public file with a separate from the file with other material. The station must keep the list of the file until the next grant of the station renewal of the application has become final. You can also view each station on the report for the website with the FCC General Parents records regarding children programming to commercial limits. Also discover the page 22 of the Manual of the Children's Television Act of 1990 with the rules limited the type of the amount of the advertisement may be the area of the during the TV program. The directive to do with the children 12 and under. The station must keep the record with the substantiate with the complying with the limitation within their public file with the retain them until the next grand station renewal application will become final. Time brokerage agreement. For the time brokerage agreement, the time when the contract will generally involve the commercial station sales of the block airtime of the third party broker the supply of the program and the file with the time sales of the commercial spot with announcement with the support of the program commercial radio television safe the must keep the public file with a copy of every agreement involved in the time broker of the station and time brokerage any of their station owned with the same license of these agreements of the main must maintain with the file with as long as they are in force. Listed donors, non-commercial education, television, radio station must keep their public file with a list of the donors supporting that each specific program. These lists may be retained with 2 years after the program and the issue of the airs. Alright, local public notice of the announcement to discuss on page 27 of the manual with the someone filed for the application of the bill with the new SGF and renew this file with a modified existing station that would generally recover the applicant to make the series of the local announcements to inform the public application for the existence of the nature of the announcement with either published local newspaper that made over the air station and intended to give the public an opportunity to comment with the application statement that certifying complying with the requirements of the include the dates and time of the notice of the given must be placed in the public file with the only exemption of the public notice requirement and with the pro station modification of the sale of the pro forma does not result in a change of the ultimate control of the modification application does not contemplate with a major change of the station facility. Most carry and retransmission consent election. Public via all the commercial television station must also contain documentation of the station's election and carried over the cable and satellite system, regardless of the two ways of the broadcasting TV station. Two of the carried over the cable and satellite system must carry over the retransmission consent that each of the discussed below. But the must carry over the TV station was generally entitled to carry cable television system and the local marker of the station on the total of the exercise of the receive of the right with the no compensation cable system and satellite carrier that may be decided over the local station of the designated market area. If they choose to offer one station, they must carry all the stations in the market they request carriage. Retransmission control. Instead of the extras of the most carrier rights, commercial TV stations may choose to receive compensation cable system satellite carrier, then return with granting permission to cable system satellite carrier to carry the station. The options available to the commercial TV station because it is possible for the station that elects this option may not reach an agreement with the cable system, ultimately not carried by the system. Every 3 years, the commercial TV stations must decide whether the relationship to each local cable system and satellite carrier that offers the local service of the government by the most carrier of the retransmission consent agreement that each commercial station must keep the copy of the decision from the public file for the 3-year period which it pertains. No commercial station of the non-commercial stations not entitled to the compensation return carriage on a cable or satellite system. Maybe they request mandatory carriage on the system. Non-commercial station making such request must keep a copy of the request in public file for the duration of the time period that it applies. TV transition consumer education activity reports. Each broadcast television station must place the station public file on a quarterly basis. FCC Form 388 TV, Digital Television Consumer Education Quarterly Activity Report outlining efforts during previous quarterly educated consumer the transition to digital television. These reports must be maintained in file for 1 year. Additional information on the digital television transition can be found on page 28 of this manual. Alright, complaints or comments about a station, the comments of the station networks. If you feel the need to do so, we encourage you to write with directly to station management and to with the network official with comments with their broadcast services. These are the people's reasonable for the creating and selecting of the station of the program and announcement of the determination station operational legislation of the network official will keep them informed about or in the interest as well as the public opinion with a special issue of the practice of the individual and group that often resolve the problem that and shape them at a local level. The comments and complaints to the FCC will be able to full conservation broadcast complying with commandments for the other inquirers would receive the same of the above to incur with the first contact station on the network directly with above the program and the operating issue. If conserve the net resolve the manual with the exemption of the complaint with the obscene incident with the profane programming which shall be submitted to the manual with the described at page 21 of the manual complaint with the blanketing interfering with the discussed on page 25. The best way to provide all information the FCC needs to process your complaint about the other broadcast manual to complete with a fully with online complaint form which will cover the consumer complaint with the FCC cover the HC in English in the United States. You can also email with the email file your complaint with a hard copy. The FCC Consumer Center with the following manner of Federal Communications Commission, Consumer Governmental Affairs Bureau of the Consumer Inquiry with the Complaint Division, 445 12th Street, Southwest, Washington, D.C., 20554, fax number 202-418-0232, telephone number 888-225-5322. If you're submitting audio or videotape, DVD, or CD, other type of media with your complaint, you send the following with the address to avoid mail processing damage. Federal Communication Commission, the Consumer Governmental Affairs Bureau, Consumer Inquiry with the Complaint Division of the 9050 Junction Drive of the Annapolis Junction, Maryland 2701. If you do not use online complaint forms, Form 2000E with a complaint with a minimum should indicate with a call letter of the station, the state of the station, which is located, name of the time of the day, specific program advertised within question, if applicable, the name of anyone contacted at the station, if applicable, the statement of the problem specific as possible to give the audio, video, CD, the DVD, other recording transcripts, program, and the advertisement of the subject of the complaint. If possible, please include the name and address. If you would like information, final disposition of your complaint, request confidentiality will prefer your complaints in writing, although while submitting with the complaints over the time stamp of the telephone, especially involve the safety concerns. Please be aware that we can only act on the alleged allegations that the station violated Provision Communication Act of FCC rules and policy. In addition, instead of the filing a complaint, you can file a petition now with the informal objection to the application of the station's license that has been filed. This license renewal application to proceed with discussed on page 18 of this manual. You may obtain the further information with addition to deny the process of the commission website with the transition FCC.gov, the localism and renewal process handed out PDF. They may also wish consider the reviewing over the rule of contacting internally. You will find the links to the rule of the commission website. FCC has got a general rule of the rules, got good regulations. Title 47 as noted earlier, the rules governing broadcast is generally found in Part 73. Title 47 of the Code of Federal Relations, broadcast information specialists who've created contact point with the commission, the accessible via the telephone number, to fax, and over the internet with a dedicated providing information to the members of the public regarding how they can become involved with the commission process. Should you have questions about how to do so, including inquire with the complaint with the position, proceed with the filing and status with the license renewal, with the modification, assignment, the transfer application of a particular session, with the may contact one of the more broadcasting information specialists by calling fastball by sending an email notice below with a question relief. The radio station telephone number 866-267-7202, fax number 202-418-1411, and radio info fcc.gov. After question relief, the television station toll free 866-918 5777 to fax number 202-418-2827. TV info at the FCC.gov, and question relief with both radio, television, safety, general in nature. They may contact either specialist. Alright, and that completes most of it, and I'm going to show you the book. So you have your TV household, broadcast market research, digital television stations, shows the units, $1,000, dollars a million average price. So the television receivers, I don't know, I'm not a genius. Broadcasting television, major broadcast TV networks, ABC, CBS, regional broadcast TV networks, U.S. TV Group ownership, broadcast TV U.S. ownership, broadcast TV U.S. ownership, and there is exactly 1,000 pages, and Broadcasting Group, Max Media, Broadcasting Television, U.S. Television Group ownership, and then we'll skip along. See what it says. Broadcast television TV channel in the United States, and it's listed in the United States of the United States and Nebraska, and it goes through each state with the different television stations. So that's only 100 pages, so let's skip ahead. We got radio group ownerships, Beacons, Best Broadcast Group, radio group ownership, in alphabetical order. Move a little bit more into the book. Anyways, remember you can get a free copy of this book. Alright, it's not thinking, but there's over 1,600 a billion different companies and all the radio forecasters. And I'm gonna go back to the beginning, and I'm gonna copy this and give it to Georgia Medical Clinic community and some other tapes. So let's go back to page where I started the video. So we have it's eating up the video. Let me shut the video off. So complete television radio guide. I'll highlight this and add it to the television directory. Great Powers Publishing, 2001. English contributor interactive complete television radio completion guide.